Hello, people. Welcome to this sort of intro video. I have been filming this whole video before, but I was talking so much that it was so boring to watch. So we have to be with my not made up self, but it's basically just an explanation for what is to come on this channel. The video, like I've just edited and dismissed, I filmed that 4 weeks ago, before I started with this whole lifestyle change / lifestyle challenge, I guess. And I was in a really dark place, and you could really see that, and it was so boring, and it was so kind of annoying even. So we are going to start over again. If you don't know me already, hi, my name is Francie. This whole channel was created to show my art to the world and to get people to notice my art and maybe get people to buy my art. And I couldn't hold it up because of a lot of reasons that we are going into in this video. But for now, I need to give you a little disclaimer before we start with the whole video. I'm going to talk about weight loss, I'm going to talk about sports, I'm going to talk about mental health, I'm going to talk about sickness, I'm going to talk about my most depressed times in my life, and I'm going to talk about my future and what I'm doing actually right now in the moment, now that I'm basically filming this intro to this whole video series. I have 2 videos already filmed, so yeah, we come from a place where I know that I at least managed to get 4 weeks of this lifestyle change in, and yeah, that's just a little disclaimer. I also don't say that everyone with EDS needs to do the same thing that I do. I just do what feels best for my body. I know that EDS or disability or sickness in general vary a lot from person to person and from body to body. Especially with EDS, I know that there are people who experience basically no issues due to the EDS. The only thing they realize is they're a bit more hypermobile than the general person. And then there are people who live in care homes and can't live on themselves. I know that there are these 2 extremes and everything in between. So I'm doing what's best for my body. I talked to my doctors and my physical therapist beforehand, before we even started this. I went into medication withdrawal due to medical issues that I'm not really going into, but I basically am not taking any long-term pain meds anymore. So I had to withdraw from medication. That's also a thing why the first video I had to delete, because I was so slow and I was so exhausted from withdrawing. I was still in the withdrawing process from the medication, and it didn't work. Like, don't film videos while doing that. That's not like the best idea, I guess. So yeah, that's just a little disclaimer. It's just my body, my past, my experience, and what I'm going to do. And also, I am still in contact with my doctors and my physical therapists. It's just one. I'm seeing my physical therapist once a week. So every single week we're talking about what I did, how my body reacted, and what we are going to change. And I see my doctor every 3 months, like the pain doctor. I see my family doctor once a month to see how my body reacts and what we maybe need to change. I already learned a lot that I'm going into in the next videos. Again, because now I'm looking back at the weeks that I've already did. So just a disclaimer beforehand. Please don't feel pressured to do the same. Please don't feel pressured to lose weight or do a lot of sports or anything. I'm a bit of a crazy person. I really tend to be a bit extreme in everything I'm doing, and I still have to learn how to pace myself, not only doing sports, but also nutrition and everything else. So we're going to divide it in chapters so you can go through the video pretty quickly. I'm going to give you a little recap on who I am and where I'm coming from. So this is chapter 1, the past. So basically, I have been diagnosed with EDS about 7 years ago now. And before that, I was diagnosed with children's rheumatism because they diagnosed me wrong, which I'm not blaming the doctors. EDS is basically really rare. And it wasn't until one doctor that was basically just there for like looking at me while my actual doctor was on holiday that she mentioned that it could be EDS. And back then I was working. I was a single parent that started dating again after a really, really, really toxic relationship. And I know everyone says their relationship is really toxic, but he cheated like every week with a lot of women and then gaslit me into thinking that I'm the crazy one who doesn't trust him. So yeah, it wasn't the best relationship. And I wasn't in the best mindset, but I kept going because I had a lot to do. I was working full time, I was in pain a lot, and I was so sleepy. But also, on the other hand, I had to look after my child. And then I had my first date with my now partner. And, you know, I was juggling so many things. Everything was okay. And then I mentioned to my partner on, I don't know, like 4 or 6 weeks into our relationship that I have children's rheumatism and that it's giving me trouble, but that the family doctor that again wasn't just my normal family doctor mentioned that it could be EDS, and the reasoning for that was that I'm capable of like moving my head 180 degrees without pain or anything. And she was calling me an owl and told me that I should look into that. And I looked into that, but I didn't find anyone who was able to diagnose me. So my partner did some digging. He is probably more stubborn than I am. He found a doctor for me like 500 kilometers away from here, drove me there, and I finally got diagnosed with EDS. And my doctor was really like, he was truthful with everything he said. It was really hard to hear the truth and how my body, like the state of my body was back then, and also how he predicted my future, especially with my work in a butchery, which was like physically really taxing in the end. And he told me that I have to quit my job, and I didn't want to. So I tried, but about 6 months later, or to 9 months later, I'm not quite sure anymore, I had to quit my job because I couldn't do it anymore because my legs just gave in and I couldn't walk anymore. And back then I felt in the first depressive episode in this weird state of mind where I was like, I don't want to live like this anymore. And thankfully I have an amazing partner, and I have an amazing stepson, and I have my own daughter, and all three of them kept me going even though I was really depressed. But I believe if I haven't had the support back then, I might not sit here today. And this makes me tear up because I remember how bad I felt at this point in my life. And then I went to therapy. And oh my gosh, sorry, I need to dry my tears right now. We're continuing because it's a long story. So, anyways, I'm just proud of myself that I made it through this huge depressive episode. So yeah, anyways, made it through, went to a therapist, and my doctor recommended a therapist that is specialized in helping people accept illnesses that they can't control. Illnesses like cancer, MS, ASL, or EDS, for example. And I loved my therapist, and I started the sessions and I finished the sessions, and I got I think 3 prescriptions. So I was in therapy for about 2.5 years, and she helped me out of this dark place, and I'm so thankful for her that she helped me so much get out of the situation. When I was finished, I felt good. I felt like I could actually rule the world, and I felt like I can do anything and everything. And I started doing sports for the first time. I tried to rebuild muscle mass that I've currently lost, and my body reacted really badly because the point where I started doing sports, I did it too extreme for my body. So I had a lot of crashes after that, and I couldn't move for days. So the whole sport thing didn't last really long. It lasted for about 3 to 4 months, I think, before I stopped doing sports, because I felt like there's no point in doing that. The only thing I kept up was going to my physical therapist once a week. And he told me that we have to rebuild my muscles slowly. And I say painfully slowly. So fast forward to last winter. I had another depressive episode due to the weather. It is just, I live on a mountain, and it was really, really snowy last winter, and I couldn't leave the house because I'm wearing a brace, and I fell in the past and I wasn't able to get up on my own, and I was really terrified because I was laying on the ground on the cold floor and couldn't get up on myself. So I'm not leaving my house every time it's snowed in, or it's like there's ice on the streets or stuff like that. So I fell into this really depressive episode because I wasn't able to leave the house, not even for a dog walk, because I wasn't able of walking on my own without my brace, and I was too terrified to go out with my brace. And my partner didn't have the time to go for a walk with me every single day. So we managed to get out about 2 times a week. But that's everything where he was able to help me, because we have an Airbnb that we have to clean that he had to do on his own in wintertime due to the same reasons and fears of mine. And he also has a full-time job, which is about 60 hours a week. And again, we still have our household together, taking care of 2 children, a dog, and the household. And then also he is on a soccer team that he also has to take care of and train with them and stuff like that. So yeah, he doesn't have a lot of time to help me with going for a walk. And I kind of promised myself that I would be able to walk without a brace the next winter. I kind of fell off this promise to myself, and I've tried to do art, but I couldn't because I was too depressed, and I was basically just laying in bed. And that's my current situation, and that's the past up until now. And now we are coming to chapter 2, what I'm going to change about my life. It feels like it doesn't even matter how fast I'm talking, there's just so much to say, so I'm so sorry that this video will be so long. Anyways, since the winter went away, we are in spring right now, I was able to go out at least for a walk with my dog a couple more times in the week. I couldn't manage to get out from one day to another out of my depressive episode, so I went out for a walk with my dog 4 to 5 times a week, which was better than before, but not enough for a really good mental place to be in. So this was one thing. Then I had to like withdraw from all of my medication that I'm taking for, or that I took for my pain, which was 1 morphine and 2 medications for rheumatism, because my body started reacting really, really badly to the amount of medications that I was taking. And I talked to my doctor in wintertime about this and about the possibility of living without taking pain meds 4 times a day. And now that the cold is gone and it's a bit easier for me and my body to live and to live without pain or a lot of inflammation in my body, I started to withdraw from medication. And this brought me to another really horrible place, because I was not only shaking and cold sweating, but I was also vomiting, diarrhea, the whole 9 yard, as you say in English. And this is kind of when I reached rock bottom, because I was like researching how to improve my body with EDS, and the only thing that repeatedly came up is the same thing that my doctors tell me ever since I got diagnosed, and it is that you should strengthen your muscles to the capability of your body. Listen to your body, but strengthen your muscles, move your body, and be at a normal weight range, because every single kilo of body weight that is pure fat, that is being overweight due to having too many fat cells or too huge of a fat cell in your body, is not good for your joints, because this means that your muscle mass isn't really high probably, and your muscles are the main thing that supports your joints, because your ligaments, I think it's called in English, are too flexible to hold the joints in place. So you need your muscles to strengthen your whole body, and everything that is overweight basically moves the joints way harder and way more often, to a point where you basically are damaging your own body by simply being overweight. I hope that makes sense in English. I try to explain that in English, but I don't know really how to translate it to English. So basically, I haven't been stepping on a scale in a really long time. And when I first started this whole thing, I was weighing 75 kilos. I have to keep in mind that I'm wearing compression socks and that I have to go to the lymphatic drainage massage every single week in order to get the water out of my body. So I can't say how much of that was water weight and what was like fat cells. But my goal would be to lose fat and gain muscle. So I talked to my doctor about this, and we agreed to a cut of calories for about 200 calories per day. So if you need 2,000 calories per day, you go down to 1,800. If you need more, you just cut 200 calories per day. And she told me if I'm doing sports, I have to eat more because I have to fuel my body. So when I'm doing sports, I should eat around about 2,000 calories. And she told me that I will probably still lose some weight, but I can't cut my calories too much without damaging my body. That's not how it works. And that's what I'm doing for 4 weeks now. And a little spoiler, I've lost 6 kilos now. Again, I don't know how much water weight I lost and how much fat I lost. I think it's a lot of water weight. So I think I've lost about 3 kilos of fat, I guess. At least that's what it feels like around my belly area. Anyways, so my main goal is to strengthen my muscles and to get out and get some fresh air in every single day and do some sort of exercise about 5 times a week. And it doesn't have to be a 1 hour workout or a 1 hour bike session or anything like that. It's enough to go with the ability of my body from day to day. So it varies a lot. Sometimes I'm just doing 15 minutes of walking outside. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes I'm doing 1 hour bike and I manage to do that really fine without any issues. So it really depends. But strengthening my muscles is the main goal, and also get a bit more endurance to be maybe able to go hiking one day. Like hiking 5 kilometers would be such a dream for me right now, and my goal for now. I managed to hike for 20 to 30 kilometers in the past, and I would like to get there in a couple of years. But for now, we are having 5 kilometers on our mind as a goal, because it feels like a realistic goal for me to maybe in a year or two being able to walk 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and get in nature again. Because hiking was one thing that has gotten me out of my depression when I was depressed as a teenager. So yeah, that's where I really want to go back to. I always say yes, I want to lose weight, but if I'm gaining weight due to muscle mass, I'm not mad about this weight. So I'm not like trying to get down to a modelly figure. I just try to be fit and try to be a supportive partner for my own body, because my body is battling so much for me every single day and trying to keep me alive and afloat. And I try to fuel it with healthy food, a lot of protein, because I didn't manage to get enough protein in on my body. So I'm tracking my calories right now, and especially tracking how much protein I'm eating, and eating as healthy as possible. That's again not the end goal to lose a lot of weight. It's more the end goal to get fit, but it would be really nice to also to lose a couple of kilos. That's just how it is. So this is part 2, what I'm wishing for. And the third thing is to get my life together. And this is a whole life declutter, like decluttering my clothing, decluttering everything that I own, decluttering my art supplies, because I have a lot of art supplies. And I'm so overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I'm owning. I'm probably never going to be a minimalist. I wish I would. Holy shit, I wish I could be a minimalist one day. But I'm not capable of doing that, I believe. But I want to get to a point where I feel comfortable in my home and not annoyed by the amount of stuff that I'm owning, because it's just weighing me down, not only mentally, but like overall. I'm so annoyed with my flat and the cellar, and how the cellar is stuffed with shit that haven't been touched in 5 years or so. So yeah, that's what we're going to do also, and then get back into a art routine and go back into my art flow routine. I listened to a lot of really toxic advice from other artists who just said, oh, let's just paint every single day, and it's amazing to paint every single day and to sketch every single day and to do artworks every single day. I burned out creatively and I didn't really know what to do about it, and we have a vernissage next month. I have 1.5 weeks left now to finish my artwork, and to find something, a motive to make an artwork out of, was the hardest thing that I've did, because I was burned out so much creatively that I couldn't manage to start. So yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to do that. I hope that it still looks cool in the end. I don't know, I still have to finish it. But that's also the third end goal, to basically get my life together, to get a bit more creative, because I need creativity in my life to stay sane. But also, again, I need to just get my life together. It's just a whole mess. It has gotten better now because I've already started, so I can spoiler a bit and tell you that it's not that terrible anymore. But you will see in the future videos on what changed and how much changed and what I'm still going to change in the future. But yeah, I'm pretty happy right now, and I feel mentally I'm way happier than before, because in this week I managed to get out for a walk with my dog every single day. Not as an exercise, even if I'm just walking like 200 meters and back, like 400 meters overall, I went out for a walk, and this makes me really happy. And I want to keep that up, because it's really nice for me to just get out in any weather. There's no bad weather, just bad clothing. I believe it's not only a saying in Germany, but also Austria, Switzerland, and a lot of Nordic countries. And that's so true. I've heard that my whole life, and I just need to go back into it. So I'm a mom. I not only want to be a role model for myself, but I also want to be a role model for my daughter. If she sees me bed rotting, she can't tell that I'm bed rotting because of my depression, because I'm not going to talk to a child about my battle with depressions. Maybe when she's older, I will tell her what happened, but not now. But she sees me laying in bed, not being able to keep the flat clean, to get out, to change my clothes, to get ready and take care of myself. And she will probably copy the same things in the future if I'm not being a better role model for her. So we have to change that. This is one of my biggest goals, to be a better role model for my daughter and also for myself. And I don't know, maybe one day I'm like at a point where I like, why did I ever have to be my own role model, right? But right now I need to be my own role model. I really need to get my shit together and get my stuff together. So yeah, that's really important to me. And yeah, that's my main goal. So let's go to the last chapter of the main goals in summary, so you can actually realize what this channel is going to be about, because I'm changing a few things in the future videos. My end goals, so that you have an overview on what we're going to change. First, do sport, build muscle, get quality of life back, and hopefully I'm in the nearer future, I'm at a point where I don't need to take pain meds 4 times a day anymore, or that I have to go back to taking pain meds 4 times a day, because I'm way more awake, I'm way less exhausted, and I'm thinking that it's due to not taking any morphine right now. I feel way better and way less exhausted, and I really want to stay in this clear headspace compared to the I can't really explain how I feel on morphine. It's like my head's in the clouds and I'm not really capable of thinking. I talk to people and I forgot mid-sentence what I was talking about, or people would tell me something and I forgot mid-sentence what they were talking about. I forgot names of even my own family members. It's crazy. I forgot the names of some of my best friends sometimes, and I couldn't figure out what their names was. And I really don't want to go back to this weird headspace, I wasn't in pain back then, yes, but I don't think that the payoff of no pain is worth the little quality of life that you have. Not remembering things you did with your family, things you experienced, and all that stuff. And it's so sad to say that, but I have a hard time remembering what we did last holiday, and I don't want to get back. So, first thing, get fit and yeah, get my body into better shape and a better place. Second of all, lose weight, obviously a bit off, or lose a bit of belly fat especially. Again, because of all the things that I've already explained beforehand. The third point that we are going to get as a goal is to get my life together, clean out my flat, clean out my house, get to a point where I don't feel the need to fill my life with stuff because I'm feeling empty inside, but filling my life with memories and filling it with experiences that I'm experiencing outside of my own four walls. That would be a really, really big goal of mine for the future. Long-term goal, hiking 5 kilometers. And I don't expect myself to hike 5 kilometers anytime soon. But maybe next spring I will be able to. We will see. Maybe if I'm managing to get it in, maybe in autumn, but I would rather say in spring. So I think that's a good long-term goal for in about a year, to be able to walk 5 kilometers without crashing afterwards. This would be amazing. It would just be the best thing in my life, because sometimes in the past, before I fell this sick, I just had dog walks, like 5 kilometer dog walks, and now I call it hiking. But because it's like climbing a fucking mountain that I'm not capable of climbing right now, and I need to go there again just to be happy and just to feel accomplished and to just be proud of myself for getting this far. So yeah, we will see. And yeah, did I say every single one? I think. Get my life together, get more creative again. Amazing. Anyways, that's the intro. I'm dividing the next videos into episodes, probably, because it's a continuing series for I don't know how long. But I will take you guys along with me, and hopefully I can upload about every 2 weeks a video and just take you guys with me and show you how far I've come and how much I can do back then, or like in the future. We will see. Anyways, if you watched this video up until this point, I'm so grateful. Thank you very much. And if you like to follow my journey, then feel free to subscribe. Hold me accountable, please. You are allowed to do that. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.